With cinema.
Yeah, boy. Back at you, 2020.
Welcome back to War with Cinema. I'm your host, Greg, your local metalhead, and with me is...
Part of the collective, motherfucker. What's up?
You're energized today, huh?
Yeah, man, 2020. It's a big year. We're going hard as a motherfucker here on this podcast.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That's my attitude for all of 2020, bro. We're going to be fucking kicking down doors and bitch slapping people. It's going to be great. I'm really excited about it. Even though my voice is fucking shot to begin the year, but
yeah,
right.
You were pretty sick. That's why we delayed this one a little bit, because you were fucking sick.
Didn't
you
want
got
to
the
fucking
flu.
turn you into patient zero.
Yeah.
So, but I'm feeling a lot better. It's just my voice is still recovering. But
Yeah.
I'm here fucking kicking ass anyways.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
what are we doing?
Oldboy.
Oldboy, 2013, not...
Yeah, not the old Josh Brolin.
Yeah.
Oldboy. Which
You haven't seen either of them until now.
No. I wanted to watch the original if I was gonna watch this shit.
Yeah.
And I can't imagine the Brolin one being any worse. So
Damn. So, director Chang Wook Park, and I was going to write down the cast, but I'm not going to try and mispronounce all those people's names.
I feel like the guy that played Odai was familiar. I feel like I've seen him in other movies.
Yeah, he's I've seen him around. He's a pretty well-known actor. He's a great actor.
Yeah, he did a good job.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. The movie was so fucked up.
It's the third part of my revenge movie trilogy. We did Summer of '84.
Yeah.
And then we did the Gift. And now this is like the grand finale. This is like one of the best revenge movies I've ever seen.
This movie was fucked up on so many levels.
Yeah. So, how much do you think it cost to make this movie?
10 mil.
3 mil.
Really?
$3 million.
Well, they didn't skimp on the money. Everybody was eating rice cake on that shit because
just dumplings.
Yeah. no entrees.
And it grossed $68 million.
Get the fuck out of here for
this
real.
This is a cult classic within like film buff.
I'm sure. Yeah. Okay. I can see that.
Mm-hmm. So, what'd you think of the film?
It was different. It's one of those one of those thrillers, and you feel bad for the guy. I mean, right out the gate, like.
So what happens?
He's just
why do you feel bad for him?
This guy, he's a drunk. He's in a drunk tank to start the movie, and he just seems like the town drunk or something like that is what they, seem. And he gets out. His lawyer gets him out, and or his friend gets him out of jail.
Yeah, it's a childhood friend, but this scene's kind of important. It sets up his character. So he's a drunk, but what is he talking about throughout the whole scene? Like, he's talking about his daughter.
Yeah, he's got to get to his daughter's birthday.
Right.
It's her birthday, and he's got her a gift. He's got her little angel wings.
Right.
Because she's his angel, I'm assuming.
He improvised this whole scene. Well, not maybe the whole scene, but a lot of the scene he improvised. It was just ad-lib.
In the drunk tank?
Yeah.
That makes sense. I mean, that's good stuff.
Yeah. So I thought it was pretty interesting.
He seemed like he didn't really. He was a friendly drunk or whatever. But
right, yeah, he's not an asshole. He's just a guy that likes to drink too much and get in trouble.
Exactly.
So his friend,
he keeps freaking him out because he wants to get home for his daughter's birthday. But anyways, so they call her from a payphone, and he tells her that he's coming home and he got her a present, and to put her mother on the phone, and the guy. He's still drunk, I'm assuming, because he puts the phone down, and the friend picks up and he's like, "Hey, we're on our way home. I just got him out of jail." He disappears. Nobody sees him. A year later, said his wife's dead. That he murdered her, and he ran away.
Well, before we jump into that, I know you haven't seen the Josh Brolin one, but the reason I'll touch on it throughout this, kind of give you little pointers. But so that scene in the beginning when he's drunk or whatever, it happened in 5 minutes. It was a really, really quick scene, but you learn so much. So in the new Oldboy with Josh Brolin, that scene takes 20 minutes before he actually gets into the room.
Wow.
Like, it's not even the same scene. It's just like set up, like saying he's a drunk, talking about his daughter.
Gotcha.
But it takes like 20 minutes to get into the actual room where they keep him. Like,
Well, I mean, I felt like that they did a good job of showing 15 years in a room.
mm-hmm.
This guy just slowly losing his mind,
So they,
and they're drugging him.
yeah. So they open, well, the scene opens up and he's sticking his head out through the
Yeah.
feeder hole,
He's like,
which,
why are you? He's like, I'll kill you. I'll kill you. He's like, please let me out. Let me out. Let me out.
so he's been in there for a few months, like 3 months, I want to say.
He's like, how long are you going to keep me here? What did I do wrong?
Mm-hmm.
He's like, y'all aren't the cops. You know? And they just keep leaving. They don't say shit. They just kick him back in the hole.
Right. I love this scene because it's so like powerful. Like you really like this is what makes this guy such a great actor is this scene. Like
Yeah.
you really feel for him. You're like, shit, what's going on?
I mean, people always say great acting and everything, but I always think to myself, like, if you ever did have to put yourself in that shoes,
Mm-hmm.
that, you know, just lock yourself in that motherfucker for an hour before they film.
Right.
And you're going to get the authentic, you know, because people don't like being kept where they, you know what I mean? They
No,
like
we're
being
not. We're not solitude creatures.
Right. You know, we like to get out in the world.
Right.
So, but yeah, he did a good job though of making it seem like he was losing his shit.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like everybody would, just asking the same thing over and over. Where am I at? Why am I here?
Yeah. But the room is basically like a hotel.
Yeah, I mean, it's
And he
not
has
like
a-
he was in a prison cell.
Right.
Like,
And it has a TV
it does
and
have a
everything.
TV.
The TV is to keep him up to date with the world,
Mhm.
but also they keep showing him images of his daughter. He keeps seeing images of his daughter
Oh yeah.
growing up throughout. Or no, it's Josh Brolin one. Never mind.
Yeah.
I got them mixed up. In the Josh Brolin one, they show him his daughter like growing up. They actually like feed it into the TV.
Oh man,
So
that's messed up.
so he's like watching his daughter grow up.
So I'm assuming that he didn't do to what he did in this one.
We're going to have like heavy spoilers, so I'll talk about the Josh Brolin one whenever we get to the ending because it's a
Okay.
little different.
Okay.
And anyway, they keep him in this room. He sees the world happening, so it gives you like a perspective of time of how
Yeah.
long he's been in there.
One thing I was trying to figure out, because like I thought it was in Korea.
South
But-
Korea.
Yeah, because he was in Japan and went to Korea, right?
Hmm.
All right, because like it kept showing everything like that was happening in Asia, like, you know, the Chinese presidents and Korean presidents and the Chinese minister going over to visit North Korea and shit. Like that was their news, you know?
Yeah, because
Like you
it's all
said.
in China.
Right. But it just shows like the last like 15 years
Hmm.
with the TV
Right.
and him just like no human contact other than getting food from a hand.
Hmm.
Yeah, right there. You're like, holy shit. And like eventually he gets bored and he starts learning how to fucking
Yeah,
punch and
because he says if he ever gets out of there, he's gonna
kill
seek
whoever put him-
revenge
yeah.
on whoever put him in there. What I love about this too is this scene isn't that long. Like even though it's 15 years,
Right.
it's not that big part of the movie.
And every now and then, the worst part is they gas him and he passes out and they just go in there and cut his hair and wash his ass.
Yeah, because he
Throw some
tries
fresh clothes on him.
he breaks a mirror and tries to use the glass to commit suicide, but they like gas him and fix him up, won't let him die.
Yeah.
So they just feed him dumplings every day. Every day it's
The same
dumplings.
fucking Chinese restaurant. Yeah.
Yep.
That was
So
pretty clever. I thought when he got out that he was trying to find where they were keeping him.
hmm
That was pretty genius. 'Cause
Yeah.
He fucked them boys up. Like,
Well, finally, after 15 years,
yeah.
they gas him,
He just,
and he wakes up in a box.
yeah, a suitcase, right? Like,
Well, a traveling case. I mean,
It's
he
pretty
can't fit
big.
into a suitcase.
yeah, it's pretty like a trunk. is
Yeah,
what I'm
there you
saying.
go.
But yeah, on a roof of a apartment building, right?
Hmm.
And there's a dude up there. I guess he's getting ready to commit suicide,
Yeah,
and he saves him. And
I love.
I like that scene. I thought that scene was really cool.
Really, are you talking about where he first like touches him, and like just
Yeah, because he had-
experiences?
Yeah, that I was like, man, I get it. Like, He's been in this room for 15 years by himself.
And this is the first contact with a human being that he's had in 15 years.
He doesn't say a word. He just touches them. Like, anybody would be freaked the fuck out, but this guy's about to kill himself, so he's like probably longing to be just, cared for.
Yeah, because most people that commit suicide just feel so lonely.
Yeah, they just feel like nobody cares.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I thought that was a really beautiful scene.
Mm-hmm.
And that he's still touching his face and shit. And he's like, before you could kill yourself, listen to my story.
Right.
And then he finishes and then he just gets up and walks away. And then the guy's like, well, we got time for my story. I just listened to yours. He gets in the elevator and as he's walking out of the building, boom,
dude kills himself.
The car. It's like, holy shit.
All right. Scene. So we're going to talk about, I'm going to keep going back to the Josh Brolin one because I'm going to walk you through it. So you.
Yeah, please, because I don't want to watch it.
Yeah. So Josh Brolin gets out of the suitcase and it's in the middle of a field, like not on top of an apartment or anything. It's literally in the middle of a field. And he sees a lady with an umbrella and it has like tick marks. I don't even know why. So he follows her through the woods and they come up on a football field of these like drunken teenagers, not even teenagers, like early 20s, like college guys. And they're drinking with their girlfriends and he decides to kick their ass for some reason. So he just beats up all these fucking college students. Like,
well, he does that in the other.
Well, there's a purpose for that one.
15 years of imaginary training coming to use.
Yeah, he wants to see if he uses what he does works out. But Josh Brolin just does it because fuck it.
Right.
Because it happened in the first movie, so they're doing it in this one. But they kind of lost the reasoning.
Right.
This guy just does it because these kids are assholes, and he feels like breaking their ankle and fucking them up. Right. Yeah, dude just like steps on his ankle and cracks it. Like it's a cool scene, but it's like lame.
It's just action porn.
Right. So yeah, that was there's no like powerful scene of him. The Josh Brolin one, he was locked up for 20 years, not just 15. So that's one thing that I noticed is they were just trying to like one up. Like he was 15. Oh, this is going to be 20 years. Like,
because Josh Brolin's fucking Thanos and he could do 5 more. No, just yeah.
But yeah, like you were saying in the original Oldboy.
When did the Brolin one come out?
2013.
And this one came out
2003.
Oh, okay. Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah. But like you said, in the original one, he finds this group of guys and decides to fight them, but it like has not dialogue, but what is it called?
Dub.
Yeah. He says like, let's see if this training could be put to use, and that's the reason he fights those guys.
Yeah, I almost would have preferred to have read the subtitles to know what they were exactly saying, because I felt like the dub kind of blanded it a little bit.
Yeah.
Like some of the lines were like, that doesn't make sense. Why would you fucking say that right there? But I was just like, no, well, this is obviously how he wanted me to watch it. So I kept it going. But so after the guy kills himself, he goes to get something to eat, don't he?
Yeah, well, he fights those guys, then he goes to the restaurant and
he's just wandering around, and then a bum comes up to him and says, don't even ask me because I don't know how I got it.
Yeah. He hands him a phone and a wallet full of money.
Full of money, yeah. That was the imagery in this movie. There's some gross shit.
Oh, yeah.
Like, he eats that fucking squid.
Yeah, he just bites a live squid.
Give you something alive.
Another great scene. That's the reason this movie is so great. It's because he has been so focused on revenge.
Yeah.
He bites this live squid because he just wants to kill something alive. Like, just the revenge is just flowing through him.
Mm. It's like you get it. You get why he would feel that way. Mm-hmm. And the dude was just punching fucking concrete for a good portion of it.
Yeah.
And digging with a chopstick through fucking cinder blocks.
Mm-hmm. Trying to get out.
Yeah, like a rat, dude. It's pretty fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
You wonder if that did happen in real life, man. Like, I think a normal human being would have lost their shit so much they wouldn't have been able to do anything.
Oh, most definitely.
You know, like even prisoners get to go out in the yard and go exercise and you know what I mean, go somewhere and wash their ass.
Well, that's what they say. Like solitary confinement is like a form of torture, and they're trying to get rid of it.
Mm. Shit, some of the motherfuckers you have to because they signed up for life. Like they have to attack people when they see them.
Yeah, and some of those guys are just animals.
Yeah,
Need to be locked away.
They really are. But yeah, so that's why I like certain parts of it. You know, um, where we at?
He was eating the squid. The girl touches him.
Touches him, and he fucking passes out because he ain't been touched by a woman in like forever.
Well, it says something later on. He was hypnotized because, like, as he's leaving, or as they gas him the last time, a lady walks in and like
spouts that shit off.
Right. So he passes out. He wakes up in the apartment with the girl that was at the cook at the restaurant.
Yeah.
And then they just like start bonding. He tells her his story, and she's
reading it when he wakes up.
Yeah.
He takes it and he like puts it under his head.
Mm-hmm.
You can't read my story.
Yeah.
And she's just a younger, very sweet person.
Mm-hmm. And wants to help him figure out what happened to him. So that's kind of where the movie starts to pick up.
Right. And he just like tries to take that shit. Yeah, she's like, I like you, but you know, no. He just runs up in the bathroom and tries to take her.
Yeah.
And she kicks him off or whatever.
I thought it was pretty interesting because I was thinking about it. Like, if I was locked up for 15 years
and you did get around a woman,
get around any woman, like I would want to, just that natural instinct.
Yeah. Should be kept like a fucking animal.
Yeah.
In a pen. Yeah. Yeah, I get it. But I thought it was like I said, it was so weird. Like this movie was so weird, so violent and graphic. You know, I've seen a lot of shit, like a lot of different movies that use that, and I enjoy it. But this one, it was just kind of like, fuck, I don't think I'm supposed to enjoy this. Like, you know, like when he fights those guys in the hallway, it's just so fucking brutal. Like. They're all hitting him with fucking boards and trying to stab him, and he's got a fucking knife hanging out of his back for half of it. Just...
Well, before we jump to that, him and the girl want to find out. He remembers what the dumplings taste like, but he doesn't know where they're from.
Right, and he's just searching fucking restaurants.
Yeah, he remembers it's like Red Dragon or something like that.
Blue Dragon, yeah.
And so he goes to every restaurant and tastes their dumplings. He's like, nope. Yeah. And then he finally finds it, and he follows a delivery boy to that place.
That's right, and he goes up in there, and then that's when he fights everybody.
Yeah, so but before he fights them, he finds the boss of that company. As what they do is they keep people in rooms.
Yeah, which is fucking crazy.
That is fucking crazy.
It probably happens every day.
Yeah, right. We don't even know.
Yeah, like, and because. Human trafficking is a real fucking thing, and I could see that being not as long term.
Right.
Like that was just a fucking torture house, really.
Definitely. I just like it made my skin crawl to think about that because, like you said, it could really happen, and just the thought of it really happening just makes my skin crawl.
So I'm saying this movie was very real to that aspect. Like, I mean, you really felt like this shit was happening to this man.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing about it is when it happens in real life, it's worse than what they even showed you because they have to keep it within a certain aspect, or they can't even put that shit out. You know?
Yeah,
it wouldn't be rated R, or it would be like whatever unrated. You would be able to go see it in the theater. But this movie,
shit, there's some movies out there that are just overly graphic, and I don't know how they get just an R rating because I'm like, fuck.
Yeah, certain ones. Yeah,
just gore porn.
People like what they like, I guess.
Yeah, I'm not into it. But he has a hammer.
Oh yeah.
To take to this place.
This dude's fucking. He said, "I'm taking a tooth for every year."
Yeah, the main guy. Well, before that, one of the security guards, he like shows him with the hammer above holding it, and then it draws like a little dotted line to his head. I don't know. It's just little imagery like that. I thought was pretty fun to add it in there.
Yeah.
kills that guy, and then he moves on to the head boss. But the hammer is significant because in South Korea, gun laws are so strict that they have to resort to other weapons. You know, that's what makes the hammer significant in this movie, is it's like it's culturally accurate. Like somebody probably would use a hammer to kill somebody in South Korea because they can't get a hold of a gun.
And then when it showed him take that motherfucker's teeth out,
Yeah, yeah, like you said, I'm taking one tooth for every year that you kept me. And the fun part about this is he takes his teeth out and then he's like,
drops him on a keyboard.
right, it's very gruesome, but and then he's like, all right, tell me what happened. Like, why was I in there? He's like, he's so focused on revenge that he doesn't think about asking the questions before taking his tooth out. Right. He takes him out to let him know he means business.
He's not fucking around, yeah.
So now tell me.
Now that you're in all this pain for no reason, why would I tell you now? But he doesn't know. He's like, we don't talk about the clients. Like, why we keep you here? We just ask how long and what conditions you want to be kept in.
But the reason I brought up the hammer thing is because in the Josh Brolin one, they use a hammer too, because this one used a hammer. Right. But the hammer for Josh Brolin in America doesn't have any cultural impact. There's no reason for him to use a hammer.
He could have a gun.
Yeah, he could have a fucking gun. And it probably would have been more realistic if he had a gun. Because Spike Lee directed that one, Josh Brolin one.
Really?
Yeah.
That's different.
Mm-hmm. So
I would have never guessed that. For real.
Even if you watched it, you wouldn't have guessed it. It's like he doesn't put himself in that movie. I think it was just one of those things that there's
only been one Spike Lee movie that's had a white main character, and that's 25th Hour with Edward Norton. Have you ever seen that?
No.
Oh man, that's going on your list.
Really?
That's a good one. Yeah,
I love Edward Norton.
I like that. He's good in that one. Yeah, he plays a drug dealer, and he gets caught, and he's got one day before he has to turn himself in to do like 7 years or some shit like that. But he's going to this fucking terrible prison in New York. That's where it all takes place, is in New York, because Spike Lee. But so like he's just worried about it, like, you know, it just shows the last day of his life, like him and his girl, and like he doesn't know who turned him in, like who snitched on him, because cops just showed up and knew where the drugs were, knew where the money was. But anyways, it's going on your list.
Oh, I'm interested. Well, I haven't watched a lot of Spike Lee movies, so
he's got some good ones.
Yeah, I hear he does, but they've just never crossed my radar for some reason.
I really enjoyed Do the Right Thing, like, and Inside Man. I love that movie. Denzel's great in that. But yeah, back to Oldboy.
So he directed this, and I guess they wanted to translate the Korean version to America, so they could have like an American feel for it, so it could like reach more audiences.
Right.
But that's the thing about the new Oldboy, is it doesn't incorporate American culture into it. It just tries to like take things from the original movie.
Seems like he kind of pick and choose what he liked about it.
Right. And Josh Brolin takes pieces. Samuel L. Jackson is the head guy at that corporation. And shit. he like takes pieces of his neck out, like just like chunks of his neck, and then rubs salt in it, because I guess he cares about his infection, about not getting an infection. But it's just like it kind of loses what the original was trying to do. That's why I hate it. So anyway, back to the original Oldboy.
I did like how he tattooed the years he was in there. So
that was pretty cool, yeah.
Yeah.
A way for him to like keep track, because I would want to keep track too, because fuck me.
Because if you did live, you just want somebody to know like what you fucking went through. Like that was the saddest part about it. Like he just wanted to tell somebody so bad.
Yeah.
Like, I'm alive. Like they said I was dead. I didn't do what they said, but like, yeah, and he's a fucking fugitive too when he first gets out.
Yep. Yeah, because they frame him for killing his wife.
Mm-hmm.
And after that, he finds tapes.
Right.
Of the conversation that the guy had with, with
the guy that kept him.
Right, with the guy that put him in there.
Mm-hmm.
So he kind of learns a little bit of
right,
stuff.
about why you wanted him there, as far or how long you wanted him there.
Hmm. And he said, "Why are you putting him in here?" And he says he talks too much.
Right.
So
Yeah. It's like I don't want to spoil the ending. You know what I
I
mean?
know
But like, it's so fucked up.
it is fucked up. We'll get there.
Yeah.
That's why when you said you didn't see Oldboy, I'm like, oh, we're definitely watching
Oh yeah,
Oldboy.
just because the journey to it, because it's like that's one thing I will give this movie is original as a motherfucker because I never saw. I mean, I kind of did, but I hoped it wouldn't go that far. But like, fuck, dude.
So did you enjoy the lead up to the end? Like, was it a
Some of it I did. Some of it I was just kind of like, all right, can we move it along a little bit?
yeah? It
Like,
because it has like an artistic vibe to it, so it does have those moments that just let the scene breathe. But if you're not into that, it kind of breathes too much.
yeah, I started this movie last night and I fell asleep watching. I was like, fuck. But I thought I watched most of it,
Mm-hmm.
and then I put it on this morning before I came over here. I was there another hour. I was like, holy shit, this movie's 2 hours long.
Excuse me.
Because I never look at how long they are. I just put them on and watch them.
Right.
And but like I said, like it just felt like they were just dragging it. Like how much are you gonna put this fucking guy through? Because
Mm-hmm.
every time he thought he was getting an understanding of it, like they would throw another twist in there on him.
Yeah.
The guy that played it, the guy that played the villain, like the one that was fucking him over,
Right.
that dude did a great job, man.
Oh, he was great. Everyone was pretty great in this movie,
Yeah.
but especially him.
Not a lot of actors in this movie, and I love the guy that was keeping him. I love it when they put the golds in his mouth.
Yeah.
Like, thought that was great. The gang he had, like they just fucking rolled 30 deep everywhere.
It's kind of convoluted in my head, but I know he meets up with his friend, the friend from the original or the beginning of the movie.
Because the guy's watching him from an apartment across the hall
Right.
for the next building over.
Well, the girl in the apartment is chatting with this guy online,
Oh yeah.
and he realizes that he knows who he is. So she's like, "Who are you talking to?" He thinks she's in on it,
Right.
and that's when the guy with the golds, like you were saying,
Yeah, he's like, yeah, she's tied up too long or something like that.
mm-hmm.
Man, they had her all strung up like they were about to do some terrible shit to her before he got there. And they're about to kill him. Like that's one thing I didn't understand. Like he whooped the fuck out of all those dudes. And then like the second time around, they just hit him once and he's like, oh.
Oh my god, we completely skipped over that. Yeah, so whenever he takes the teeth out of the guy,
Yeah.
he gets in this hallway full of guys, like I want to say 25, 30 guys,
Yeah.
but it's in this little
Just
condensed
like, yeah.
hallway.
And it's shot from the side, which is really cool.
One continuous shot.
Yeah.
I loved it.
It's the longest hallway ever. He's just fighting these fucking guys.
Yeah, he's fighting these guys, and it feels real. It feels like he's really going through that because you can see that he's hurt, but he still like pushes through.
Because he's just so hell bent on figuring out what the hell's wrong or like what happened.
Right, and yeah, like you said, he had a knife sticking out of his back, and he's still pushing
Just
through,
fucking keeping going like it's
kicking
nothing.
motherfuckers.
Yeah.
And then after getting those guys, an elevator opens up, and there's just like what 5 or 6 more guys. He's like, fuck. And I love the shot. It's kind of cheesy, but the scene cuts again, and it's him with the guys just falling out of the elevator.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. But that's what I'm saying. He was such a badass there, and then like in the apartment, he's just like, oh fuck it, like, oh, my one weakness, fist, like. But
So she's
the guy that's really the mastermind of what happened to him
mhm,
shows up and gives him a shitload of money. Gives the gold guy with the golds.
right. Well, before that, he actually realizes who kept him in the room. It's him and his like little bodyguard thing.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Why did you keep me in there?" He's like, "How do you not remember? Like, you know who I am now, but how do you not remember what happened?" And he goes to kill him. He's like, "If you kill me, you won't know why I did what I did." So he kind of has like
Oh yeah.
a dilemma. It's like, if I kill him, I won't know why. So And he even said, I had a pacemaker put in with a remote control.
Right.
And if you try and torture it out of me, I'll just kill myself. So
Yeah. He does do that.
I thought it was pretty smart.
Yeah.
And that's when he
Goes back over there and
and realizes they have that girl tied up.
That's right.
And he gives them the money, like, leave her alone. So,
but the extent that villain goes, I forgot what his name, Joe Wynn or something like that.
I don't know. I'm not good with names. I'm not good with American names. I couldn't even remember these names.
I think it was like Jing Wynn, something like that. But yeah, he not only leaving him in a fucking room for 15 years, but like to keep to get the apartment across from him so you can keep an eye on him and you bug him. And you're listening to everything he's doing.
Yeah, he finds out he has a bug in the bottom of his shoe.
Yeah. And him and old girl, he's just like let's just like. Then they go and research it. And they find out that he went to the same high school as him.
Right, because some name like Greenwood or whatever.
Evergreen,
there you go.
Yeah.
And there's like a little montage
because he remembered him and his buddy, because he met his buddy. We talked about that, didn't we?
Yeah, he went back to his buddy, and they find out who the guy is and realize they went to school together.
Right.
And that's when the little montage happens where it's like a flashback.
Because he's like a badass, smoking cigarettes, getting kicked out of school.
Yeah.
She's just like riding her little bike and reading a book.
Mm-hmm.
And as soon as he like says something, like he goes, she's like, you're popular. Tell me a joke. Tell me something funny. And he's like, goes to tell her a dirty joke, and she just gets up and runs off. And then they don't give it away right then, do they? Or is that later on?
Well, he remembers what he saw, which was the main villain having like a sexual relationship
with his sister.
And they catch him, like the girl catches him looking at everything. And he spreads it around school that what happened.
Well, he just told one person.
He told one person, but it got around school. He was the reason it got around. Because if he wouldn't have said anything, nobody would have known.
Yeah.
And it goes around that. Well, we'll get into it later. But anyway, he remembers that she kills herself because of everything.
Right.
So he's like, that's why I want, or that's why you're getting revenge on me, or whatever.
Right. And that's what I said, as bad as you think it is already, it just keeps getting worse for the guy.
Yeah.
He just keeps torturing him more in like worse ways.
Mm-hmm.
God. But where does he go after that?
Well, the guy, he gets rid of his bug, so he has to follow his friend to know what's going on, because he can't follow the bug anymore. So he's in the internet cafe listening to to his friend talk about like she was just a whore, whatever. So the guy, I like the scene a lot. He gets a CD out of the computer and just breaks it and then stabs his friend to death. And
then gets on the phone and tells him why he died. It's your fault he died.
Yeah.
My sister was not a whore.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, but that's where I got pissed off at this movie, because it's like, this guy had no right to do any of this shit to him. Like, I get it, like, he shouldn't have said what he said, but you were fucking your sister. Like,
right.
You're a sick fuck. Like,
well, I think in people's like that, their minds like incest, they don't feel like they're doing wrong.
I mean, but it is.
Yeah, it is. So, like, to us, it's like, that's fucking disgusting, but to them, it's kind of like a normal way of life, I guess.
I mean, and for that long to plot something like that against somebody, you know what I mean? Like, that's the bullshit of this movie. Like, where's this guy get the fucking balls? Like, you locked me in a room for 15 fucking years.
So, I guess.
And you're a sick fuck.
Yeah,
it's like, that's where I was like, man, fuck this shit. Like,
so he finally finds him in his like little penthouse, and
because the dude's rich as fuck. That's also another like underlying theme of not just this movie, but in life in general. If you got enough money, you can get away with anything.
Yeah, pretty
You can
much.
plan it.
Yeah, the thing is, like, he insinuates, like, he only became rich so he could have enough power to do this to him.
Yeah, like,
Crazy.
fuck, dude. You're the piece of shit, and you went through all that for this revenge.
Mm-hmm.
Ruin this guy's fucking life.
So they have this long dialogue, whatever, and then he shows him a box.
Because he's like, I'm here to fucking kill you. I know what you did. It's not my fault. It's your fucking fault. Like, I'm here to kill you because you had sex with your sister.
Yeah. So he's like, if you want to know the truth, go look in that box. And what's in the box, Nick?
This is where I was like, fuck.
Well,
really?
we skipped over the part they had a sexual relationship. Him and that girl, they actually cared about each other, fell in love, had sexual relationships.
Right, and the whole time you're just thinking like it's like he just fell in love with this young woman.
Right.
And like the age difference is big, but you're like, okay, well the guy's been in fucking prison. You think he cares? He's just this girl's been nice to him. I get it.
So I had to say that before we opened the box because otherwise it wouldn't mean anything.
This psychopath that's doing all this to him has damn near adopted his daughter and has a book of her growing up little by little. And then at the end of the book, it shows her as an adult, and it's the woman he's been dating and who he had sex with and he loves and cares for as a lover, not a daughter. It just destroys this whatever little humanity is left in this fucking guy.
Yeah.
It's the most fucked up thing I've ever seen on film.
Yeah.
Like, fuck, dude.
Real quick. Huh?
The hate.
Oh, right.
My God.
So we'll hop back to the Josh Brolin one. Same thing pretty much happens, except he finds out that the girl is actually the sister of the main villain, and she was having sex with her dad. And so her dad, or his dad, their dad rather, goes through and kills everyone in their family and himself because everyone found out that he's been fucking his son and daughter.
Oh, he was fucking both of them.
Yep. Because he there was a flashback where he walks into the room with his son, the main villain, and he's like, "Oh, hi, father," and he starts to like undo his pants like he's ready to go. Daddy's here. I'm getting my dick sucked.
Oh fuck, that's worse.
And then he his dad shoots him, but he shoots him in like the shoulder so it doesn't kill him. And then he turns the shotgun on himself. And that's what the guy does. He plants this girl. He videotapes her whole life growing up, but she's just an actress. And that's what he's showing him in the room. But actually the girl he falls in love with is his actual daughter. So it's kind of a little more convoluted, but so instead of him having sex with his sister, it was a whole like incest family. I was trying to like make it a little worse, but it just kind of like fell flat. It didn't have the same impact that this one had.
Yeah, this one was just like, you're just like, man, this poor fucking bastard.
Yeah, shit hits you in the gut the first time you watch it. You're like, fuck.
I was just like, Jesus, like, what else could you have done to this guy? And then boom, they did that too. And I'm like, wow. And he's just like, whatever you do, please don't tell her. Please don't tell her. Like, it'll kill her too. Like, please don't. So he cuts his tongue out himself with his pair of scissors.
It's one of the most powerful performances I've ever seen. Like when he's on the floor, like begging this guy, licking his shoe.
He's like, I'm your dog. I'm your dog. Like,
exactly. Like woof woof.
Please don't tell her. And the dude calls the guy and he's like, keep the box shut.
Yeah, because she has a box of her own that she's supposed to be opening, and I'm assuming it's the same thing.
Right.
But she doesn't open the box because he tells him, like, keep the box shut or whatever. So cuts his tongue out, and then the main villain gets in the elevator.
He gives him the button.
Oh, right. And
it doesn't work, obviously.
Well, it does work. What does it do? It turns on a tape recorder.
Oh, yeah.
And it plays
him and his daughter having sex.
The audio recording of him and his daughter having sex. Just salt in the wound.
It's just like the most fucked up thing a villain's ever done.
Yeah.
But once again, that's what pissed me off about this movie, bro. Like, where does this guy get the fucking balls, bro? That is not only the most, like, dastardly shit ever, bro, but, like, that's taking beef to a level that I don't think anybody can fuck with.
Nah.
Like, this guy's the worst villain of all time now, in my mind. In all the movies I've seen, this guy has gone the extra mile. He wins the fucking villain award.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
And then he gets the main villain gets in the elevator and
It
realizes
cuts to him killing his sister, or letting his sister die
yeah.
because she got pregnant by him.
Well, it was a phantom pregnancy. She thought she was pregnant because that's the rumor that was going around school, is that she was pregnant, and then she started to believe it that she was pregnant. So the thing about the human mind is if you believe something enough, you can kind of change it. So her belly was starting to poke out a little bit, and she started having like pregnancy issues, like nausea in the morning and stuff like that. So she thought she was pregnant, but
I didn't know it was a thing.
yeah.
Anyways, she's like, I don't regret anything. Like, just let me go.
Yeah, this is what has to happen because we can't continue our relationship. So she kills herself essentially, but he's just there to let it happen, I guess.
Right. So, like I said, where's this guy get the fucking balls? You sick fuck.
Yeah.
Ugh.
And then the main villain, after that scene, blows his brains out.
Blows his own brains out in an elevator. Like a bitch. Pussy ass bitch.
He did what he set out to do. Got his revenge.
Man, he did. Exactly. He won. The villain won out of all that shit and didn't deserve it. Yeah.
So
it's not like Goodfellas, where I don't feel like a bad person rooting for Henry Hill. And fucking Jimmy and Tommy.
Yeah. So there's a whole like hypnotist thing part of this movie because he was hypnotized into falling in love with his sister, or a daughter, and vice versa.
Yeah, same thing with her.
So he finds the hypnotist that did it to him and asks him to let him forget about everything. So it's led to believe that
let all the terrible memories and let all that die with, he said split me into two people.
Mm-hmm.
The one who doesn't know the terrible things, and then the monster who every step I take, a year goes by, and at 70 that will die. So I guess after 70 steps, the monster dies.
Yeah. And then it shows him and his daughter hugging with him with this smile, but a grimacing smile. It's like you're not sure if he really remembers. It's very vague.
Yeah, I almost thought maybe the monster was still there. Mm-hmm. Like the monster's what lived and not him.
Oh, true. I mean? That's pretty.
Because it's like he smiles normal, and then he does that thing where he's all crazy as shit. So I was like, well, fuck, maybe. Anyways, it's a really weird movie, and very different. I'm gonna give it a 6.
6.
Yep.
I actually watched the Josh Brolin one first. Right. And I was like, it's not that bad. Why is everyone giving it such a hard time? And then I went back and watched the original, and it blew my mind. I was like, Josh Brolin one is fucking horrible compared to this one. Yeah. Such a good movie. This is a Iron Maiden. Top tier. Like best of the best. For me.
Yeah, it was, I don't know, man. It was brutal. Like I said, it was real brutal. But I gave it a 6 because there were some elements of it that I enjoyed, but I don't know. I really didn't like the ending. It pissed me off.
It just made you angry.
Yeah, because like Oldboy went through all that, and then he didn't even get to. I guess he got redemption, some fucked up way. But
well,
like you said,
he still has his life and he has his daughter. So
exactly, but
at what cost?
Exactly. I don't know.
But, he could be happy that his daughter doesn't know what happened so she can grow up to have a normal life, even though he knows he, like, holds all that weight.
Yeah. Either way, it's fucking sad as shit.
Yeah.
But like I said, it wasn't badly made, and Oldboy acted his ass off. Obi won whatever Korean Oscar or whatever. Obi won one of those motherfuckers for it. So I'm not mad I watched it, but like I'll never watch it again. Cause,
really?
I can't do that shit emotionally, bro.
This is probably like the 3rd or 4th time I've watched it. I love this movie so much.
Really?
Yeah.
Fuck, dude, it's brutal. Yeah. It's like you don't want to get any joy from your movies. You want that shit to hurt.
Funny you say that, because my wife asked me, like, what are some good movies I can watch? First thing that popped into my head, because I knew she hasn't seen it, was Nightcrawler. And
Yeah, I mean, that's a good movie, but it's fucked up. Like,
it took her like forever to get through, because she kept having to pause it, like, fuck. Like, just when I think it doesn't get worse, it gets worse. And then by the end of it, she's like, fuck that movie. She's like, Jake Gyllenhaal is an amazing actor, and I give him props, but fuck that movie.
because he was so believable. And
Oh, yeah.
the coldness, man. You know, yeah, it was brutal. That's another one. I mean, it's a great movie, but it's like not a movie you can just sit down and watch. You know, to me, anyways. Like, you got to be in a weird mood for it. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I like movies that tell a good story and add elements in there that just convey their message a little better. Like, I was pointing out the parts of the movie that I really enjoyed, and
Yeah.
how they just like had an impact on the story.
No, it was good storytelling. Like I said, it was not badly made at all. Like, I enjoyed it in that part of it, but like I said, like, it was just so much that they did to that guy. It was just like, fuck. I feel like I went through it with him.
Yeah, exactly. That's what makes it such a great movie.
Yeah, I give it a 6.
That's fair.
Yeah. 6.5, man. Almost a 7.
Almost a 7.
Yeah, 6.8. There you go, 6.8. But yeah, I'm excited because it's a new year. We're gonna be doing a lot more movies this year.
Yeah, and hopefully I'll be able to spice up the video a little bit.
Yeah,
I'm gonna try to. I'm gonna really put my editing skills to work.
yeah. Well, we're definitely taking a step forward with this shit.
So you're just in case you guys don't know, check out Par the Collector, his like YouTube channel.
Yeah, man, 100 subscribers. Thank you so much. Like, that shit is awesome. I can't wait to get back in it. I got new shit coming on the way. I slacked off a lot the last 2 months of the year, but
It's the holidays.
Exactly, with Thanksgiving and Christmas.
It was hard enough for us to get together.
But I'm so excited to do my new haul because I got so much stuff to show everybody, and I'm really excited about it. I can't wait. But 100 subscribers, man, I'm really proud of that. Like,
Hell yeah.
to start off with none and get to 100 was just like.
And you worked your ass off to get there. Like,
I tried. I mean, I was like working my ass off, but like,
I mean,
I had fun with it. You know what I mean? It didn't feel like a job. Like, and to get to 100 people, like, even if 100 people don't watch it every time, like, it still meant a lot.
I think
to me.
the more you do it, the more subscribers you're gonna get, and they're just like, once you hit that stride, you're just gonna start taking off, because I think it's a cool channel. I think it's a cool idea.
Yeah, I enjoy it, and that's another thing I really would like to get to for us to get to this year too, collector's edition. Like, that's a great idea, and like we haven't done it enough because I'm lazy. But this year, that's why I said I want to take a step forward. Like, we'll start getting some stuff moving.
Yeah, last year was getting everything set up. This year is like making it better.
It's about action.
Yeah,
exactly. And once I get these hauls videos out, I can focus on what I want to show for the vault from the vault when we do the intro episode of Collector's Edition, because I know we have our friend Sherman that's gonna let us go do his shoes, but
yeah,
like, I want to just give people a feel for what we're looking for.
Hell yeah. Well, I got everything, so you got my number. Just be like, hey, let's do this.
Yep, for sure, dude. I'm excited.
Next movie is the one you picked for me, and it's The Last Boy Scout,
starring Bruce Willis and Damon Wayans.
Yeah,
it's a great fucking movie, dude.
You picked your own movie for the one I'm going to be giving you next.
I picked it.
Yeah, you said you wanted to watch it. Sorry to bother you.
Oh yeah, that one looked funny.
It's one I'm kind of looking forward to.
The guy, I forget his name, but he's in Atlanta, the show Atlanta, and I really enjoy that show with Donald Glover.
Right.
But yeah, I am looking forward to that one.
Yeah, because I got it just because I've seen it around the internet and people talking about it, but I didn't want to get spoiled, so I watched it myself. I actually really, really, really liked that movie a lot.
Did you?
So I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, that'll be good. Yeah, I can't wait to watch that one.
All right, well, on to The Last Boy Scout.
Hell yeah.
Later.
Later.